Alright, what's going on everybody, Sam from GOdinez back. In this video we're doing my predictions on the prelims, a wrap up of all the picks and the bets, the lock of the night and top 2 parlay discussion for UFC Fight Night 198, Tate vs Vieira. If you're new to my channel, I'm a handicapper. I have experience of betting MMA and the UFC for more than 10 years. If you're seeing this video from Patreon, thank you very much for your support, I appreciate that. If you're seeing this from YouTube, I release these videos after the event in respect to my patrons, as this content is part of the Patreon $10 tier or the Patreon $50 tier. If you wish to support the channel and see how this could help you and could have you making profit, stick until the end and show you how. Alright, so I'll do a quick wrap up of all the picks and the bets, then I'm gonna be breaking down the prelims. Alright, so between Qileng and Raniai, I'm picking Qileng but not betting. And I'm saying not betting, I'm not betting straight or parlaying, but I'm doing props on some of them. I'm gonna be showing the props in the end of the video as well. Luana Pinheiro versus Jessica Penne, this has been cancelled, we need to remove from here. Qileng Aori versus Cody Durden, I'm picking Aori but not betting for now. Let's see how the line goes. GOdinez versus Loma Lookboonmee, I'm picking GOdinez but not betting. Luana Pinheiro versus Sam Hughes, I'm picking Pinheiro but betting Hughes, I'll explain why. Misha Tate versus Catherine Vieira in the main event, I'm picking Tate but not betting. Adrian Yanez versus David Grant, I'm picking Yanez and not betting. Sean Brady versus Michael Chiesa, I'm picking and betting Chiesa. Tyler Santos versus Jojo Calderwood, picking and betting Santos. Terrence McKinney versus Faran Ziam, picking Ziam, not betting. Nathan Levi versus Rafa Garcia, picking Levi but not betting. Sean Soriano versus Nu Erdembiek Qileng, I'm picking Soriano but not betting. Pat Sabatini versus Tucker Lutz, I'm picking Lutz and not betting. Alright, so let's move on to the lock of the night and top 2 parlay discussion. I think this is probably most of the people are interested into this. So, as always, I try to put at least 2 options which I think are decent. Obviously I don't recommend anything. If you have any doubts, feel free to take a look at the disclaimer here. But so this is basically the things that I'm doing. So basically option number 1, I put all the $100 virtually $100 on Tyler Santos. It's not the same 100 as other cards, but nonetheless making the exercise here was 100. Santos is a strong pick. If you haven't heard my breakdowns, feel free to hear about it. She's basically better everywhere and she's younger, and especially because she's the better wrestler and grappler here. Alright, so she's a strong pick, but yeah, so minus 300, not bad. If you cash, you got 30 profit. If you miss, obviously you lose everything. Now the option number 2, which in general I like to use more, because I like to take a more diversified approach to try to profit a little bit more as well. So 30 on Santos, quite small. Obviously you can make parlays with Santos with all of these people. I like a little bit Michael Chiesa, not that confident. You cannot trust Chiesa too much. He has some holes and can get submitted and whatnot, but I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna impose the games, bring something different against Brady, something Brady has never seen. So Chiesa, I would go from 110 on him. For Ziam, also, I'm slightly confident on Ziam. Could maybe skip this one, but I ended up having 10 here. Sam Hughes at plus 350, the value is there. I'm gonna be breaking down this soon. I'm gonna know why. But to me, there's the values on Sam Hughes here definitely dog or pass. So I have 10 here out of this 100, and 40 on the overall props. I didn't do good on props last time, so feel free to take a look at that if you want to see. Sometimes I cash nicely on props, sometimes I miss them all, sometimes I get them all right. So let's hope this one gonna be at least most of them right. At least I have a couple of them that I think it's quite good. I'll highlight that to you guys, right? So let's move on to the breakdowns, guys. I'm gonna try to make this quite concise, not to extend this too much, but also try to give you guys enough information. So let's start off with Luana Pinheiro versus Sam Hughes. Like I told you guys, I'm picking Pinheiro and betting Hughes. The breakdown here, guys, basically Pinheiro, she's a very intense and aggressive fighter. She fights angry in the cage. If you have seen the fight against Randa Marcos, she basically threw Marcos to the ground with all her might until she started guessing. I think she got lucky that that fight got stopped, but I think eventually Pinheiro would fade and Marcos would take over that fight. I could see something similar happening here against Hughes. It's a different opponent here. Marcos had way more experience, even though Marcos, some people I think don't like her, and plus she has a a even record. Some people don't think that she's a great fighter, but she's not bad, and she's better than Hughes, especially in terms of experience. You know, Hughes, she's maybe a little bit tougher, she's bigger, a little bit stronger. So I think these things somewhat make up for each other. I don't think Pinheiro is that strong favorite as people think she is. You know, she's a little bit overrated in my opinion. Of course, has a good judo background. She has a BJJ black belt, or brown belt in BJJ. She hits hard. She's aggressive and whatnot. But still, she could, you know, burn her gas tank in the first round, and then just basically gas and lose the fight. I could see that very much happening. Now that I'm talking about it, you know, Pinheiro could even win a 10-8 round, or my pick here is Pinheiro round 1 TKO. She's that you know, powerful and strong. But if in case Sam Hughes passes the first round, she becomes arguably the favorite. That's why to me the best bet here would be Hughes in a live bet. You know, especially after Luana goes, you know, starts throwing her to the ground. And if you mention that Pinheiro starts slowing down, I'll definitely go Hughes, because there's a decent chance that she takes over. A draw is not impossible here. I'm gonna actually take a look into that as well, you know, because Pinheiro could win a 10-8 round, and Hughes wins sort of a normal round after that, you know. Or it's not impossible also that Pinheiro, if she paces herself, she's arguably the strong favorite. I don't think it's much her style. She's probably gonna come guns blazing and either finish Hughes in the first, either, you know, win a split decision or lose a split decision. You never know. So that's why to me it's definitely dog or pass here, at least at these odds. If you want to take a look on prop bets on Pinheiro round 1, it's not a bad idea. I'm not gonna do it, but that's anyway my pick here. Loopy GOdinez versus Loma Lookboonmee. This should be an excellent one. I was back and forth here, guys. I just picked GOdinez because she looked impressive in my opinion against Luana Carolina. She pushed the pace. She used her wrestling very nicely. She is very thick, very strong. You know, she also hits hard. Loma, she's a Muay Thai specialist. This girl also hits hard. She's powerful. She's accurate. She also has a good takedown defense, a good counter wrestling. You know, with the trips, with the throws. But she's fighting a stronger, you know, bigger opponent here in GOdinez. I think we're gonna see GOdinez, you know, getting inside and trying to use her wrestling here. She would be, not that she cannot hang with Loma, she's good, you know, GOdinez, but in a purely striking, you know, fight, probably GOdinez would be the underdog. But since she has that wrestling, she has the, you know, the clinch control, she should be the favorite here. Now, I think the lines are a little bit off. My bet here is gonna be Loma by decision, you know, as an underdog. Even though GOdinez by decision maybe would be better, but yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm gonna skip this one altogether. But yeah, it's a tough one. Probably gonna go decision, but the decision prop is expensive. It's like minus 350, minus 300. So I don't think it's worth. There's much value there. You know, 70% of the time. That's somewhat what I have, but I don't know, man. I have a feeling that GOdinez gonna implement the wrestling, you know. So maybe GOdinez by decision. I think by decision GOdinez is like plus 150, which is not bad, you know. But anyway, Loma by decision also not bad idea, because it's very difficult to finish each other here, right? Chansoriano versus Nordambiek Qileng. So guys, by the way, if I have some Chinese viewer, apologize for the pronunciation, you guys can correct me. Chansoriano should be a strong favorite here, because basically he can dominate the striking, but Qileng, he can basically out-wrestle Chansoriano here. He's gonna try, most certainly. Qileng, he's a big featherweight, you know, the guy is, you know, he's not short, you know, he has a decent size, plus he's very thick, very muscular, pushes the pace, good cardio, like I told you guys, good wrestling, not much control, you know, not much striking. Otherwise, he would be more of a live dog here. Either way, guys, I think the lines, Chansoriano minus 330, to me it's too much, you know, even though he's a decent favorite here. My bets here are gonna be Qileng by decision, you know, maybe he cannot wrestle, make it a grappling match. Soriano comes a little bit off with the takedown defense. Then Qileng could potentially win a decision or split decision, alright? Soriano also is under the good camp, you know, he has good training partners, he has experience against wrestlers, so that's why this guy is a strong favorite in the bookies. Plus, like I told you guys, should dominate the stand-up, hits hard, sharp with the technique, you know. And but anyway, to me, it's definitely dogger pass. You never know the preparation with these guys if they're gonna come ready. Qileng gonna bring it, we know it, and hopefully, at least for me, hopefully he will be able to control Soriano there. Alright, but the pick is Soriano. I'm going decision. I think Luanderbiek, he's tough, you know. He's not gonna get there, gonna go out there just to get hit. He's gonna go there to try to wrestle. Of course, he can get hit on the way in, but I don't think he's just gonna give shots to Soriano for free. Alright, Lutz versus Pat Sabatini. This is an interesting one. You know, I was back and forth in this one. Lutz, I was very tempted to bet this guy, you know, because Sabatini to me more of a one-dimensional fighter, which is he's an excellent BJJ player, dangerous with the submissions, you know. He finished Jamal Emmers. I was very confident on Emmers in that bet, you know. I watched the fight. I still would bet Emmers, you know, 100%, you know, even would throw even more money than I throwed. But Sabatini is dangerous, you know, when he gets to the ground, he can submit anybody, you know, both with the leg locks, with chaining, taking backs, you know, arm bars, etc. So the question here is, can Lutz stop those takedowns? He should be able to, but Lutz is fairly inexperienced. That worries me a little bit. Pat Sabatini has experience, you know, so he knows what he has to do in there. This fight gonna answer many questions, you know, on Tucker Lutz. You know, he did a good job against Kevin Aguilar, but was mostly a striking match, which was he was dominating with the range and hitting harder. But in the third round, he started getting hit quite often, seemed to lose a little bit his composure in there. That worries me a little bit. It's basically his inexperience at this point, because this guy is tough, you know, he's young, he's powerful, athletic, and etc. So is Sabatini, by the way. So pick your poison here. I think Lutz should be the favorite. Like I told you guys, I was tempted to bet Lutz. I ended up passing, guys, because I think Sabatini could submit him, and Sabatini could win a decision, you know, by controlling Lutz, you know. So that's how I'm gonna go to this fight. I'm just gonna pass, not gonna even bet Lutz by decision or anything, you know. Fight go the distance, also quite dangerous, because I think Sabatini has a decent chance to finish him. I don't see much of finish for Lutz, but could happen, like a knee, or, you know, start landing clean and accumulating damage type of thing, right? Nathan Levi versus Rafa Garcia. This is another interesting one of my patrons, a Mexican guy. Shout out to you if you see this message. Actually, don't comment this much, because I don't know, guys, most of the people like it, and I apologize for the noise. So guys, this fight is rather interesting, you know, because to me, Rafa Garcia at his best, he should be able to dominate this fight, you know. He's he hits way harder, you know. This guy at his best, he can push the pace, you know. He can wrestle, he can have land heavy ground and pound from top, you know. Also in the defense, he gets hit, but sort of doesn't matter much, because he's so strong, has such a strong chin. I was very confident on picking him against I just forgot the name of the guy there. So against I'm gonna remember some. So I was very confident, and then he lost that fight. It was very disappointing, because he basically guessed. He didn't do much in the fight, so it was very clear that he came unprepared, probably didn't train well. That's the only reason why I'm picking against Garcia here. Levi, you know that his guy gonna show up in shape, you know. He's gonna try to do what he does, which is kick from the outside and try to out-wrestle. I think Levi is the safest pick, just because Rafa Garcia could come out of shape, you know. But if Garcia brings it, guys, this guy has a very good chance to finish Levi, especially by TKO, you know. So Garcia inside of a distance or TKO is not a bad idea. He can also win a decision, a clear decision. Levi is tough, you know, but I don't see much. I see way more chances for Garcia to finish Levi than the opposite way, you know. It's also tough to predict what's gonna happen in this regard, because Levi, he tends to leave his chin out there, you know. He's quite big and strong, you know, very fit, good cardio, but still, if he starts getting hit by the bombs that Garcia has, he could get finished. So if you trust Garcia, or if you know something about Garcia, if this guy's coming on shape, I think he's arguably a decent favorite. I see the line moved, you know. Levi was a decent favorite on the bookies, then it flipped all the way around. So, you know, if you know something here, Garcia comes in shape, he should be dominating. Don't blame bets on him in this regard. But analyzing the video only, I would say that Levi is a little bit more consistent, hence I'm picking him by decision, right? And I apologize that I forgot to update this one before and I was updating with you guys here. Farzian versus Terrence McKinney. It's another interesting one. McKinney looked obviously impressive with all those knockouts. The guy is tall, long, athletic, fast, powerful, good wrestler, heavy hitter. So this guy is a complete deal. I'm not too sold yet because I would like to see him fighting, a competitive fight and a grind. See if he can push it. I saw Ziam, being able to get out of his comfort zone, be able to have to defend takedowns and taking over, controlling the range. He's also tough. Ziam has a good chin, hits fairly hard, very good technique on the feet. It's a tough one, guys. Another tough one to pick. I end up picking Ziam by TKO, assuming that Terrence McKinney gonna come guns blazing and gonna guess. It's not impossible, because he said himself he wants another first round knockout. I don't think he's gonna keep getting those, especially here against Ziam. If McKinney doesn't control his pacing, he could guess and get finished by Ziam. That's what I'm thinking that most likely gonna happen, because again Ziam good chin, tough, So this is my pick here. I'm putting some money on Ziam, even though in the spreadsheet there I didn't say it, but then I put in the lock of the night there discussion as try to diversify a little bit. So Ziam, not a bad idea, because he could win a knockout. Submission quite tough, but he could also win a decision against McKinney. Whereas McKinney could finish Ziam by knockout, by submission, especially by submission, and could win a decision. Depends on how he's gonna approach this fight. It's tough to tell, because he always been so explosive and so aggressive right off the bat. So we'll see what's gonna happen here. I think Ziam a little bit more consistent. That's why I'm picking him. Alright, but again, super tough back and forth there. Qileng, Aori versus Cody Durden. Another one, guys. Aori, super aggressive fighter, keeps coming forward, very big as a flyweight. It's just ridiculous, It's crazy. I think this guy is 5'8" or 5'9", but he's so, broad shoulders, fairly, has some thick muscles, big guy for the division, hits hard. And he keeps coming forward. He trusts his chin. He has a big head, and he gets hit by basically everything, but it doesn't fade him. Doesn't flinch. He doesn't flinch. He goes forward. Cody Durden, more of a wrestler, not a bad striker. Likes to stay on the outside, pick his shots with the jab, with the 1-2, good feints, like kicks, then sets up the wrestling shot. The biggest question here: can Aori stuff those takedowns? I'm not sure because I couldn't see much of Aori in footage. His last bout was basically a striking match. So it's tough another one to predict this one, guys. Unfortunately, I was very tempted to bet Aori because I think he was at his best. If this guy stops the takedown, he could potentially dominate this fight. So I was very tempted there, but ended up passing. Aori by decision. I think I'm taking that prop if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look after this one, but another one that's quite tricky one. This card is slightly difficult to bet. Another one of those cards that is tough to bet, right? So just to finalize this video, so let me cover here the prop bets. I'm hiding one of the columns here because in respect to my patrons, that's the amount that defines the winning strategy. So in respect to my patrons, I'm hiding this column. So these are the prop bets that I'm taking for this card, and I put 2 live bets here. By the way, I put them here too. I forgot to mention that these are 2 good live bets in my opinion. I'm gonna comment real quick here. And if you want access to this spreadsheet and everything else, I'm gonna be commenting to you guys soon. Alright, so Vieira and Tate go the distance. This is one of my favorites at -135. That I think they're gonna go the distance, guys, because I don't see much of a chance of a finish to either side. Tate by submission, like very little chance. Vieira by knockout, yeah, I don't think much. Vieira by submission, a little bit more chances, but if she hurts Tate and taps her by some arm triangle, dominate top position or something, but not much of a chance. Tate is a veteran. I like this one a little bit. It's my biggest. Qileng by decision, I like this one too because, I see more of a chance for Raniaya for a finish. For Raniaya, whereas Qileng, to me, if he wins, it's by decision. So this line makes sense. Levi by decision, I broke that down to you guys. Lookboonmee by decision. Could argue Lupita GOdinez by decision. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm gonna switch here. Maybe I'm gonna even actually wait for the ratings to see how bigger GOdinez looks, you know, than Loma, because Loma used to be an atom weight before joining the UFC. You know, Lookboonmee by decision. Actually, there's probably some houses you can get like plus 250, whereas GOdinez by decision plus 120. Yeah, plus 150 GOdinez by decision also makes sense. So I don't know. Take this one with a grain of salt. Shah decision. You know, I told about you guys. Yilan Shah. You know, he could potentially survive and you know, basically control Soriano. They go in the distance a little bit. Yeah, not that best, but I think Soriano, not that easy that finishes Shah. You know, then Shah comes forward and he takes his chance. So there's a chance for the finish, but I don't know. I think goes the distance. Qileng Aori decision. I told you guys. I think this is a decent one because Cody Durden is a tough guy, you know, and Shah could, Aori could push him back and outstrike him, but not being able to finish him, you know. So this one makes a little sense as well. All right, maybe in order of how much I like here, this is not a bad idea. All right, so guys, this will do for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Like I told you guys, for 10 bucks, this is the video that you guys have access to. Plus I'm trying my best here, guys, to release this early as possible for future cards. I'm not being able to due to, you know, other my life, reason of my life, personal life, and my work. So I'm not being able, but at least the $10 bucks, you guys have access to this content, right? All the you guys have access to this video, right? Going to explain all the picks and the bets and the prop bets that I'm taking, plus this content here with my comments, with my sum ups here, they come together. And for 50s, line by line, all the bets that I'm taking, all the single, the parlays for future cards, you know. So I have everything here, you know, line by line, and you guys can basically utilize my experience to your own advantage. You know, I combine future cards and whatnot, right? Plus you can obviously see how much I'm betting in each of these guys, right? Guys, again, thank you for watching, thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you next time. The same from the other bet, bring the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.